Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar on the OneLaw and Quillio integration. Joining us today, we have our sales executive, Kane Smith, to give a brief overview of our new integration with Quillio, and then he'll pass to Quillio's CEO and founder, Samuel Yonghin, to give a demonstration and talk more about Quillio's offering. We'll have a Q&A at the end, so please send your questions via the Q&A tab. And as always, the session is being recorded, so you and your team can access it on the OneLaw Help Centre within 24 hours. And if you'd like a CPD certificate for this webinar, please just email support@onelaw.co.nz with the names of your team members attending. Okay, I hope you enjoy the webinar, and I'll pass it over to you, Kane.
Cool, thanks very much, Emily. So I'll just start us off really quickly just to introduce myself, Kane Smith from the OneLaw team. I will have met some of you. I see some familiar names on the webinar. I'll quickly bring up a slide that you may have seen last week in our AI strategy webinar, and this is specifically talking about where we discussed the business of law and practice of law. And just to reiterate what we discussed last time is we did talk about these orange boxes as being things that OneLaw is focusing on. So that was in last week's webinar, and specifically our COO went through all of those with you. But then we ran a poll during that webinar, and these green things did come up quite a lot. And these are the more practice of law things. And that's why we see a really good fit with Quillio, because it's really complementary to the AI use that that OneLaw is going to be taking in terms of its strategy. So some of the features that you see in those green boxes will be covered in Quillio, and hopefully we'll be able to see some of those today. So I'm very excited to announce that we will be launching our integration with Legal AI Assistant Quillio, and this is going to be launched tomorrow, so Wednesday the 22nd. And Quillio is an AI legal assistant covering all aspects of legal matters, including document review, chronologies, legal research, drafting, and file notes. And you can import documents directly from within OneLaw into Quillio for an AI to draw on and work from. So the documents will be documents that you do generate in Quillio, those can be edited and they sync back into the relevant client and matter back within OneLaw. So it's pretty frictionless there. To use that integration, you do need to have a Quillio account. So all of those OneLaw users who don't yet have a Quillio, you will need Quillio to be able to see and use these features that are shown in today's webinar. And information on this and how you can enable the integration that links into our system. So you'll be able to see that through the Help Centre. So I'm very mindful of time, so I'll quickly hand you over to Samuel, who's going to give a bit of a demonstration on how Quillio works and also the features that Quillio has, and discussing some of those things that you'll hopefully be all wanting to see. Cool. I'll hand it over to you, Samuel.
Perfect. Thank you, Kane. Thank you, Emily. I'll just try to share my screen. And apologies, I've got a little bit of a throat thing going on at the moment. So, but excuse me, can you see my screen there now, Kane?
Yeah, perfect. Got it.
Yep. Thanks everyone for attending, and we're all friends here. There's no silly questions, so please drop anything in the chat that you might be curious of. I'll try to go at a reasonable pace. If I'm going too fast, just tell me to slow down. If you've got any questions, just pop them in there. Happy to answer them, and we will have a Q&A at the end as well. So I'm on the integrations page within the application, and you can see that I've already got OneLaw connected. Just in the essence of time, I won't disconnect it and reconnect it, but it's quite straightforward. You just go in your menu, you go to integrations, click on the integration, you connect. It'll just ask for your OneLaw logins. It actually sends you to OneLaw, asks for your logins. It just creates a secure authentication for us to be able to pull and push documents from OneLaw into Quillio. And so that's really as simple as it gets. And I'll demonstrate what that looks like in a moment. For now, though, what I might do is jump into the new version, which we're getting ready to release in the next day or two, and show you some simple use cases. So perhaps if people drop in the chat which area of law you're in, it'll help me customize this to your exact needs. And if there's anything specific that you would love to see, please also let us know, and I can make sure that we cover that, as opposed to being a general sort of demo. So my understanding is we've got a few commercial people on the call, but let's start with perhaps a more generally applicable use case. So you'll see I've got a folder here. I just put these these documents in the OneLaw folder. So if I wanted a summary, let's say I wanted a summary. Well, actually, no, why don't we do this? Why don't we say the client has sent me these documents and I need to prepare for a meeting that I'm about to have, an initial briefing meeting. So we've got two different chats here. Obviously, you can select your documents there. You can see in the middle here, we've got Amelia, which is really equivalent to the senior associate in terms of the level of quality and accuracy that it can do. And it's the one that's actually going to do the work. If you've got straightforward questions such as things like this, who are the parties in the document, go straight to Amelia. If you've got larger pieces of work to do, such as what we're about to do, you're better off to go to Compass, which, as you can see, is the legal project manager. So it will manage Amelia to do the work for you so that you can delegate a bunch of work, go off, grab lunch, come back, and then the work will be complete there. I'm sharing screen of a different virtual machine. This is not actually on my machine, but normally I'd be able to click dictate and I would just talk to it and get the result. For now, I might say something along the lines of something very general like that. So Compass will read through all of the documents itself before delegating any work to Amelia. So therefore, it's got a much better understanding of what the matter is before delegating the work, which produces superior results when Amelia comes back with the completed work there. What we're working on at the moment is we're just working on the documents that I've got selected. It can also do research, which if anyone's interested, I can jump in and show you research. By the way, I've got this set to Australia. So if you see some of the results, because these are Australian contracts, but it works just the same for New Zealand. And there's a setting under your profile, under settings, just to switch it between Australia and New Zealand. If you do have any Australian matters, you can also select the state and the AI will be more specific to that jurisdiction. So you'll see here that Compass has come back with 2 tasks. It's written from my very crummy brief. It's read the documents and it's written really comprehensive instructions for Amelia to go and execute on. So just in the essence of time, I'm just going to select that. You'll see it's passed it to Amelia. She's working away on it. I could look at these and I could edit them if I want to. So if there was something that was not quite right, something that I wanted to add, then I could click on this, edit it, and then add it to the queue. So all I do is just click on that, and now it's added that one to the queue as well. You'll see that's in blue. The second one's in orange, and she's working away on both of those. I can also drag and drop documents to the chat if I wanted to. The advantage, the ones here is what you would see from OneLaw. So the documents pulled straight in from OneLaw, and then if we modify those documents, they'll go straight back to OneLaw with any markup changes, or if we create additional documents, they'll also go into that matter in OneLaw. As I said, you can drag and drop documents here if you wanted to. We accept a whole range of document types, which I'll go through. Perhaps I can do that while we're here. These are all the different document types we accept. So you've got obviously your Word documents, your text type documents, PDF of any type. So they can be scanned, they can be text-based, they can have images in them, or they could be mixture PDFs. We've got OCR to handle all of that, Excel, CSV, all of your images, audio and video files. Really strong use case for removing unbillable work from your plates is recording all of the conversations with the client. So let's say this matter that I'm preparing for now, or preparing to meet this client, what I would do is get the AI to help me prepare for the initial briefing meeting, record the briefing meeting. You can upload that audio or video file into OneLaw or directly into Quillio. It will then transcribe it with really high accuracy. You can then use the AI to work with the documents and the brief. So you're now no longer having to write out notes, interrupt the client and say, hey, could you just repeat that? I couldn't write or type as fast as you could talk. But it creates a really seamless client experience. And as the matter evolves, you can add more recordings to it, and the AI has full visibility of the matter and can do much better job for you. So we won't worry too much about the content of this, or rather show you more the process of it. You can see that it's given me a pretty good summary here. It's identified a number of items to pay attention to. Right, there's a few gaps that it's identified here. Okay. It's created a risk matrix. I didn't ask it for that in my initial brief, but this is what Compass is really good at doing. It looks at the documents and then decides what Amelia should be actually focusing on. If I was to leave this discussion, let's say it's Friday afternoon, I leave for the weekend, close everything down, come back in on Monday or Tuesday, or perhaps the client sends me more documents next Thursday, I can upload them. And then you see it says 6 documents. I can just select 6 and just start off where I left. Okay. All right, I won't go into this too much more. What I will do instead, let's just create a new chat, and I'll show you something that I have prepared previously, which is one of the most powerful things that you can do within the practice, is our one-click automation. So you'll see down here the lightning. If I click on that lightning, you'll see it says review, advice, and email. What it's going to do is, if I run this automation, it's going to review the documents, it's going to draft a letter of advice, and then draft an email for me. So even if you've got people that are not necessarily tech savvy, literally from day one, you can upload documents. If they can upload documents and click on the lightning, you can start getting value from it straight away. Right, this is the absolute highest leverage point. You can create customized one-click automations for your business, and that's something that we help you with within the first 30 days, so that you're getting value from the tool, and it's not this big, steep learning curve that's going to take a lot of time to get up to speed and start deriving value from it. It's literally drop your documents in, use some pre-made one-click automations to do what it is that you'd like to do, and then you go on from there. I can see we've got a question in there. Thanks, Kirsten. As a litigator, does it have the ability to review briefs of evidence and suggest cross-examination topics and questions, absolutely. We have many barristers actually using the platform as well, and this is one of the most common use cases that I see with barristers. So yes, absolutely. You would upload the whole brief and then ask it to find any gaps, any inconsistencies, anything that's missing as well. So think about this brief here that I received from the client. Let's say I have the conversation with the client. They might tell me new information, and then I give that transcript to the AI, and the AI might say, well, the client said this and this, but that's actually not evident within the documents. Or in the litigation situation, perhaps they've sent you streams of emails, as we know we all get, and there might be missing information or conflicting information within the emails that they've given you, within the conversation that you've had with them, and within the documents that they've provided to you. So Kirsten, hopefully I've answered your question there, but absolutely you would upload any of the material you've got. You can also not just ask it to do tactical things. So with the cross-examination, typically what we would do, upload the documents and say something like, look, we're preparing for this trial. Here's the matter documents. Here's the transcript from the client. This is what we're trying to achieve. Think strategically about how we should approach this, right? Then get it to draft the questions. And when I say then, you just tell Compass everything. Compass then goes and formulates a plan, delegates it to Amelia, and then she gets all of the work done. But absolutely, cross-examination is a common use case there. You'll see sometimes it will take a while. So we prioritize accuracy and quality over speed and cost, because at the end of the day, the profession demands a much higher quality than most other general use AI tools would, right? And so actually this is another important point, is we could ask it for pinpoint citations. So it doesn't really make much sense in the use case that I've mentioned now, but I could have asked it for pinpoint citations to any of the clauses that it's pulled out, right? So here I've got this looks like my advice. This is a general advice. I didn't give it a precedent to work from, right? So the way that it's formatted it, the way that it's worded things are just based on its own experience of what should it do. What I could have done is I could have given it a reference document and said, this is the way that I draft my advices, my tone, my style, my structure, and this is the way that I want it done, and it would emulate my style almost perfectly. So you've got that ability there as well. So I can easily jump to the bottom. I can jump to my next response if I want to. By the way, with this advice, I can just click on Create Document from Message. It'll create a new document within the platform. It would sync it back to that client's folder within OneLaw, right? And I can also manually export to docx or PDF if I wanted to. If you wanted to get even more advanced from this document, I could then talk again with the chat and do more work based on this document if I wanted to. You'll see it's got related questions down here as well. So it will preempt what it is that it thinks you might want to know next and give you these questions, which are just one click to execute on them. Or if I wanted to execute multiple, I could just select them, click that, and it will run them in parallel. Here's my cover email. We don't have an integration with Outlook just yet, but it is on the cards. It is coming, I'd say, in the next 3 to 4 months. We'll have an Outlook integration, but for now, what you can do is just click on here, copy that, paste it straight into email. Obviously, you would review it, polish it, and away you go. And again, I didn't give this any reference for my writing style or how I put things together. So it's sort of a generic way of drafting now, but it absolutely could be more customized. All right, I might just pause there briefly. Is there any questions, anything that's not clear so far, or anything that people would really like to see? Because Kirsten mentioned she's a litigator, what I might show while I'm waiting for any questions is our research assistant. So our research assistant looks at any Australian case law legislation. Again, it's jurisdiction specific. So if you've selected New Zealand, it will pull from there. My account is set to Australia at the moment, but I could ask any questions here and it will go and look at any publicly available information. This means NZLE, any of the courts from the most, from the top courts right down to the bottom. It will prioritize the court as well. So depending on the area of law that you're in, it's going to give preference to the higher ruling court. I won't run this just in the essence of time because we don't have that much to go. But what I might do now is let's look at the OneLaw integration. So you'll see I've got a OneLaw folder here. If I click on import, let me have a look at our client here, Mickey Mouse. You'll see this matches my OneLaw account. So I've got these Edge Master Trading ones. I've got 5 documents there. I've got an image. I've got a video. And I've got a PDF there as well. I won't worry about the PDF for now, but essentially you can upload any file types in there. You can select either the whole matter, or you can select individual files if you wanted to. I'll just click on import. You'll see it's transcribing the video. It's pulling in the other documents. It's also OCRing this image. So if you've got, it could be text messages, it could be paper documents that have come in that have been scanned. It could be someone's taken a photograph of something, but we can import all of it. You'll see it's got the nice little OneLaw logo there. So what I might do, so just to be clear, this is what we call easy mode. It will do probably 70% of what you might want. Now we'll go into more advanced mode. So let's look at this loan agreement. And you'll see that we've got a different layout. We've still got our chats down here. For those in commercial, our review function would be one of your go-tos. Essentially, there's a whole range of different AIs here that have been specifically designed to review documents. So we've got everything from quality control type reviews to more of your commercial negotiation type things. So in the essence of time, I might just select points to negotiate and risk analysis for this loan agreement. And I'll say the borrower. I could give it any other instructions if I wanted to here. What I could also do is pull from my my knowledge bank. So it's got a full inbuilt knowledge bank where you can have special clauses, you could have playbooks for what you want the AI to focus on, or full documents. I don't have anything that would be relevant to this demo here, so I'll just click Analyze. Now that will go away, read through the whole document, and really specifically focus on those 2 items that I'd selected there. While this is running, it'll probably take a minute, maybe a minute and a half. We've got a chronology function, which can handle large-scale chronologies. You could upload thousands and thousands of pages and have it go through and do chronology. What I might do is, and you can customize the chronology as well. So These are the default columns that we allow you to choose, but you can also add in any custom columns. So I've created a damages amount for a previous demo here. I could create any other pieces of information, any columns for any other pieces of information that I would like to extract in a chronology. What I might do, because that review is already finished, is come back to the review and then we'll look at the chronology after. I can modify this to suit however I would like to look at it. Now, we'll see here that it's saying the interest rate on this loan is pretty high. Based on current circumstances, it's saying that we should look to change that to be 7 days and calculate it daily on a 365-day year, and it's not to be compounded. If I track changes, I can just click on Write It on the pencil there, and now the AI will draft that change into the document for me. Let's have a look here. Something about the repayments. Again, if I wanted to pull on my knowledge bank, I could. So if I already had a special clause that's drafted for repayments that I've worked on over the last 10 years and I've crafted it to perfection, I could have it stored in my knowledge bank, and then I could just easily click on there and pull in the document. Obviously, I wouldn't, insert the governing law and dispute resolution here, but just as an example, that's how easy it is. If you know you've already got special clauses there, you can easily pull them in and insert them into the document. Last but definitely not least, the adding a comment function. So you'll see here that it's just commented on there. I don't know why it doesn't have my name. Normally it's got my name on there. And I can edit that comment as I wish. So I might say that I just want to add that, depending on who I'm doing the review for. If it's going to the client, if it's going to the other party, I could do that as I wish. And that will all be synced back to OneLaw, and you can also export it back to PDF or Word. All of this review function, by the way, and the discussion chats are available in our Microsoft Word add-in. So we've got an add-in for Microsoft Word, which can be really handy if you're in Word a lot. If you are handling lots of PDFs, well, perhaps the Word option is not as useful for you. But for those who are in Word, this functionality is all within Microsoft Word as well. So let's have a look. We've got our loan agreement here. If I come back here, you'll see that the last updated is at this time where we're at now, so 1:28 p.m. I can't get Microsoft Word to work on this virtual machine for some reason. So what I might do is just preview. Here's my, don't know, is that big enough on the screen or not? Here is my red line for the interest that the AI marked up back in OneLaw. Is my governing law thing that I inserted in here. But as you can see, it's all back in OneLaw in the client folder. How are we doing for time? Okay, so we've got a bit of time. So I can also filter these based on priority. So I've selected just the high priority ones. The AI believes that there's 14 items that if we didn't resolve them could highly impact our client, either currently or in future. If I wanted to draft an advice from this, so let's say my workflow was redline and or comment, provide that to the other party, provide it to the client, and we wanted to draft an advice, What I would do is go through and knock out any of these that I disagreed with. Let's say I disagreed with that, and let's say I disagreed with 8.2a. I can create a new document from those items. So to be clear, the ones that are left here are the ones that I agree with that I would provide advice on. So now what I've got is a curated list of items that I want to provide an advice on. I can simply come down to discuss. I can type in hash or click on the lightning, which is in the new version. But here I've got draft a letter of advice, draft a negotiation email to the other party, and a cover email. I click on that, and now it's going to draft a letter of advice that's very on point because it's only working off the items that I've already curated. What I could have done, again, I could have given it an example document, the way that I draft a letter of advice, and it would emulate that very accurately.
Okay, thank you, Samuel. It looks like we don't have any questions at the moment. But yeah, if you have any, please pop them in the Q&A tab now. We're more than happy to answer them for you. Kane, could you bring up the slide that, the questions slide, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, Samuel, was there anything else you wanted to cover today, or was that out?
There's a lot more that we can cover, but I generally like to be guided by the audience as to what they would find most useful. We've got a little bit of time left, don't we?
Yep,
Or we
yep,
run,
we can keep,
okay.
no, we can keep going.
Yeah, I can keep going through a few other things that I prefer just to not guess what you guys would find interesting or useful. So please put anything in there that you would like. I did mention chronologies before. So if I go to, let's just select, let's say this group of documents here. Yes, Beck, thank you. I will cover security. So I mentioned chronologies. Let's just run a chronology on these documents. There's a commercial transaction, so the content's probably not going to make much sense, but the process is still the same. It doesn't matter if you've got emails, if you've got commercial documents, if you've got affidavits, anything at all. The process is still the same to get chronologies. Okay, so I've got my chronology back. I can decide which columns that I want or don't want. So I might say citations, and I'll just choose these ones. I'll click on create a document. Every time I create a new document, that would be synced back into OneLaw as well. Page setup. Okay, so you'll see here that I've got my chronology. You'll notice that it says inferred. So even when it doesn't have the explicit date within the document, it can calculate the date based on the information around it or based on the information from other documents that were related. So in this case, it's telling me that it's inferred. Some of these you'll see don't say inferred. Some of them will have a time where the time is explicit within there. Now, every one of these is a pinpoint citation that will link me to not only the document, but the section within that document. So it should take me to the exact passage within each document. And you've got the full citation link there as well. Looking for. So one other thing that I forgot to mention with the document review that you can also do is you can create tasks. So depending on how you work as a team, let's say Junior has gone in and done the initial review, and then they've addressed some things, but some others they're not sure of. What I can do is click on Create Tasks, and the AI will create tasks from these items. We'll show in the taskbar here. I could then assign them to, let's say I could assign them to my commercial team if I want to, or I could assign them to individual people within the team. Right. So in this example, I might just assign them to myself. And now they'll appear in the task manager up here. So you see we've got risk analysis task 4, 8, right? So when I click into this, it's got the task. It's got a link to the document. It's also got the activity as to who has done what on it. I can set due dates and times within here. A lot of the stuff that you probably already have in OneLaw. The difference is the AI can help create tasks for you. This creating tasks functionality, which we have under actions, can also be really useful when you've had a meeting with a client or even an internal meeting. You upload the audio or video, it transcribes it, and then it can go through and it will pull out anything that is a task and create a task for your team, and then they can all be accessible there. You can manage it like any other sort of task management. You'll notice that we've got microphones on pretty much everything. We're a big fan of dictation rather than typing. You can typically dictate 3 to 5 times faster than you can type. So we've got that built in within everything. And for Kirsten's benefit as well, document index could be useful for you as well in litigation where perhaps you're preparing a brief to counsel, you want a document index, you then want the chronology, and then you have the AI draft the brief to counsel that would sit within that document as well. And there's some other things that you can see there also. Good question, Rima. Why would you edit documents via the web browser like I am when you could do it directly in Word? So within Microsoft Word, there's constraints because we're operating within their platform. So for example, if you've got, like I demonstrated before, if you've got or let's just say multiple documents, if you've got multiple documents and you want the AI to work on all of them and do different things, Microsoft Word is not going to allow us to do that at this point in time. It's not that we don't have the capability to do it, it's that Microsoft Word has that constriction there. If you are receiving PDFs, then obviously you can't use it in Microsoft Word as well. So that's where the web platform can handle any document type. Microsoft Word can only handle Word. Yeah, but some people prefer to work across both. So they might upload, let's say, a PDF into the platform. They'll get the AI to do something. They'll export it back to Word, and then they might use AI to finish off something within Word. It's just, you know, your preference. You can work across both platforms. So a couple last things. What I might, this is like we've covered some of the use cases, but not all. But what I will show you is reporting functionality. So if I look at, let's just pull a fake client here. Our billing platform allows you to reclaim all of the costs from clients. So of course, you need to have it in your disclosures. You need to have it in your all of your policies and do it ethically. We've actually got a guide. If you're interested in the guide, perhaps Emily Kane could help distribute that. But we've got a guide, essentially kind of like a checklist that says these are the things that you need to do to be able to reclaim your AI spend in passing on the whole cost to the client as a disbursement. But essentially, all you do is come into usage. You can select via team member. You can select the matter. You could download this report and then pass it on to the client as a disbursement. If there's any leadership in the room, you can also generate an executive report based on all of your team's efforts. So if I remove this here, right, you can see what people have been using. You can see who's using what and what dates. Right, and you can completely customize all of this. I won't go too much into in depth, but there is a lot of depth in the reporting that you can pull. You can see an activity log of who's done what, not just what has been spent, but you can see activity across the platform as well. You'll also see, where is it? So you can see who's the most productive within the team. You'll get an estimation of time saved per member. So again, you can have full visibility of who's doing what. Different areas, right? Within, these are all just test garbage groups, but if you've got a multidisciplinary firm, you can see, I can have a look at what family law is doing. I can have a look at what litigation is doing, and you can pull reports based on all of those as well. I think that's pretty much it for reporting, but essentially the platform should become free if you just do a few things up front and you can pass it on to clients. That's what I was going to say. So we've looked into connecting our reporting system into OneLaw. So if you did want to pass the cost on to the client, then what you could do is we build the integration, and then you just export instead of downloading the report, it would automatically go into OneLaw as a disbursement on the client matter. So that is possible, and we're looking at building that at the moment. In terms of security, we have our ISO 27001, our SOC 2 Type 2, pretty much our GDPR, and we're also working on some higher government level security qualifications at the moment. The ones that I mentioned are the highest levels of security that you can get. We have external auditors come and audit everything that we do. We do not train on your data for the benefit of everyone, and we never will do that, because the risk of having one practice be able to interrogate the AI and potentially surface something from another firm, that would be the end of our business. So we will never go down that path. What we have coming out in the next few months is the ability for you to train your own AI on the way that you do things internally, either as an individual or across the firm, or you could segregate it to train it specifically for family law within your practice, train it specifically within commercial law for your practice. You will have that ability, but we will never train on your data for the benefit of everyone. Am I forgetting anything from a security perspective, Beck? While you're mentioning that, Kirsten, good question. So the way our model works, it's subscription consumption. And for full transparency, the reason that we do that is because we have real raw costs in delivering the AI's output to you. Just like you go into a restaurant and you purchase a meal, they've gone and bought all of that raw material. They bought the fish, the veggies, the whatever it is that they're prepared for you. We have real raw costs. That is a variable cost. So every question you ask has a real cost to us. So it's subscription, and you get a certain amount of credit within that subscription, and you can draw down on that. For our power users, we do have people that are spending more than the subscription amount. You can top up. They are more than happy to top up because they see the value that they're getting from the platform, and it's exponentially greater than the money that they put in. Typically, we see across the board, you would get about a 20 times ROI, meaning that if you paid Quillio $100, you're typically able to produce about $2,000 worth of human labor for that $100. Now, how you bill that is up to you. We can certainly provide guidance We've onboarded more than 230 firms across Australia and New Zealand. We see what's working, what doesn't work. We see where people make mistakes. You've got to, in this transition to an AI world, you have to think about your billing strategy. It doesn't need to be difficult. As I mentioned, we have a lot of experience in this area. We see what's working and what's not. But you do need to consider your billing model, because if you're purely time-based billing, and obviously you're being a lot more efficient, then you're going to be turning around matters a lot faster and potentially compressing your margins. Now, of course, we've got to be ethical about it, but we can have that discussion with you. What we are seeing, though, is we're seeing a lot of people moving away from time-based billing to more fixed fee, even litigation. So we have a number of clients who have completely moved away from time billing for litigation to fixed fee stages. They're even using AI to quote for them. So they upload all their previous quotes and the matters, and they say to the AI, we've got this new matter that's come in. I've had the initial briefing meeting. Here's the documents. Figure out what I should be charging for this and how I should charge based on my precedents. And one guy has even said, I don't manually quote anything anymore. He says, I trust in AI so much now because it's been so accurate in my quoting that he gives all of the quoting to the AI to do. Perfect. Well, I've rambled on enough for now. Emily, did you have some more things that you would like to go through? Is there anything that you thought that I didn't cover well or was not clear?
No, I think you've covered everything. That was great. Thank you so much. I think there was one question in the Q&A tab that we may have missed. When you do the Outlook integration, will it look at all emails?
You will have the ability to do that, yes. So it will, and this is optional, by the way. It's not like we just opt everyone into it. It would be you connect Outlook, you select the permissions that you want. But where the power of it comes in is if the AI can look at the way that you respond to things, your writing style, obviously, and then review any incoming emails, decide the ones that should be replied to, have a look at the client matter, where it's up to, potentially do research for you automatically, and then draft the email so that it's sitting there in Outlook waiting for you to send. We'll never send the emails automatically for you, but essentially that's what's coming, is emails incoming, the AI picks up the email, looks at past emails for that matter, looks at any of the matter documents in OneLaw, and then drafts the appropriate reply and leaves it sitting there in the outbox so you can just review it, polish it, and send.
Perfect. Thank you. Kane, we'll get that final slide up if that's all right with you. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, Samuel and Kane, thank you so much for presenting today, and thank you everyone for attending. If you've got any final questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat box now. I see Beck has put the link to how to recover more costs at your firm while using the AI with Quillio, so definitely check that out or get in touch with us and we can send that to you. We've got a QR code up on the screen here which you can scan to book a demo with Quillio's Director of AI Adoption, Richard. He'll be more than happy to show you through more of the system and tell you more about the integration. As mentioned earlier, you can get in touch at support@onelaw.co.nz to get a CPD certificate for attending this session, and you'll be able to view the recording of this or share it with your teammates within 24 hours through the Help Centre. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions, so I think we'll leave it there. Thank you again for presenting, Kane and Samuel, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.